How powerful, right? How powerful. If you cannot feel the synergy in this room, I am Sherida Morrison. I'm not going to spend a lot of time about who I am. But we're talking about impacting girls through the socio-ecological lens. And so it is through Demoiselle to Femme that we were founded almost 23 years ago, right in the community, because we saw a need. And we stepped into the need with what we thought was a solution, and that was beginning to work with girls. And apparently it was a solution, because now, some 23 years later, we've impacted thousands of girls, helped 1,000 girls become first-generation college graduates, and awarded over $52,000 in scholarships. And it's because we understood that girls are the birth canals to our communities. My slide is in here somewhere. And we are the midwives that cause them to push. Just like our speakers just said, they said that there were women in their lives and still in their lives today who say, push. We still have midwives when we hit those ceilings and they say, oh, you can break through that. It's not too much for you. And so it is only through the socio-ecological lens that we see how close our proximity has to be to actually impact her life. We see that the first place that she is impacted and it is wrapped around her like a blanket is her home. And so our speakers were very transparent with us about their homes. And then it spills over into our schools, which is why in America we look at other countries and we say, oh wow, they need a better educational system for girls, but so do we. When in many of our most distressed communities in our urban environments, girls are attending low-performing schools where less than 15% are ready for the next grade. And so what does it look like in our community? What does it look like in our government? When 56 to 80% of the homes are led by women, but also almost half of that population are living in poverty. But if the problem isn't the problem, then the answer isn't the solution. And oftentimes when we look at a societal level to address big macro level problems, we say, give girls a self-esteem program. And I say, give her a STEM program. Give her a leadership development program. Put some things in her hand that will equip her. And also when we look at gender and we look at girls, to only look through the socio-ecological lens is only half of the issue. And so when we look through a gender responsive lens, the socio-ecological lens tells us how to connect with her, how to reach her. But through gender responsiveness, we learn how to serve her. We learn that she needs some relationalism in her relationships with us. We learn that it needs to be holistic and strengths-based and responsive. And we need to be culturally competent practitioners. And so when we pass from the socio-ecological lens to gender responsiveness, we learn that girls are our answer. They are an answer. And we're not saying they're the only answer, because we want equality for young men too. But at the same time, when we look at that gender lens, I was once told by someone that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And so we need more people who are advocating for women and girls at the table. And so it caused us to even shift how we do what we do, to become closer to girls, to not just serve in the community space, but we took down our offices and moved on the block. Opened up a house right in the midst of the community using a community-based participatory engagement model so we can know our neighbors and uplift the women and girls in our communities. And we said we're going to come a little closer to her by impacting the educational space. And we founded the Hope Network of Schools and said that we're going to change the educational lens of girls by impacting them through education that is academic but also applies to their social emotional needs. And we founded the Hope Network of Schools. And we'll be opening the Katherine G. Johnson STEAM School for Girls as the first K-8 school for girls that is STEAM related in the state of Illinois. And so my final statement is that according to this slide, when are we supposed to invest in girls? I can't hear you. When are we investing in girls? Right now. Just like you would be strategic about your financial portfolio, there is a portfolio of importance that we have in impacting the lives of girls. They are the now investment for the families, the communities, the cities, the nations, the countries, the world that we desire to see. Thank you.